Very good morning to you all, my dear students. Today class I am going to start the new chapter 5. So that is very interesting and easy chapter, that is magnetism and its matter. So this chapter is going to explain about magnetic field. So as we already said that before 18th century everyone thought that electric field and magnetic field are completely different phenomena and there is no relation between electric field and magnetic field. So that's why they have discussed these properties completely different. But in 18th century Oersted has made an experiment that these electric field and magnetic field are related. When there is electric field, there is magnetic field. When there is magnetic field, there is electric field. Let us know first what is magnetism. So this magnetism is based upon completely a device called magnet. What is a magnet? A magnet is nothing but it is a substance which attracts small pieces of iron, steel, copper, nickel. So it has the property of attraction. So this is called what? A magnet. Now let us know, because we are discussing about what is magnetism and how it has been generated. So we are going to a brief discussion how the name has came. So this magnet was first derived from a Greek word called Magnesia. So this is a village in Greece. That village, some of the people has observed that there is one stone, it has the ability of attracting small pieces of iron, cobalt, nickel and steel. So they called it as magnet because it was found in a place called Magnesia in Greek. So it has been derived from Greek word called Magnesia. Next, then at the same time simultaneously in China there is one stone. So what the specialty of the stone is, if you throw the stone anywhere, it is pointing towards north to south. So if you throw the stone anywhere, it is pointing towards north south, so it is leading the direction, right? So that's why in China they called this magnet as Ido stone. It is called as Ido stone, or because it is leading towards the destinations, so it is also called what? Leading stone. So the same substance has the property of attraction as well as the property of direction. So that substance is called what? Magnet. So magnet is a substance which has both attractive property and directive property. Now let us know that what are the types of magnets. So basically there are two types of magnets, that is a magnet is classified into two types. One is called natural magnet and another one is called artificial magnet. So what are natural magnets? Already we said some materials, some stones that are available on the earth core or on the surface has the property of attracting. So these magnets available in earth core has the property of attracting and direction. So these are available on earth core. They do not have any definite shape and size. Is it right? Can they available for us as bar magnets or a magnetic needles? No. So if someone has dig it inside the earth surface, those bar magnets we get. But naturally available elements does not have definite shape and size. So what is the drawback of this one? They do not have definite shape and size. They not, so they are going to produce non-uniform magnetic field. They produce non-uniform magnetic field. Okay, so naturally available magnets. What about artificial magnets? So these are made by us, so we can say that these are man-made magnets, and we can create however we want, right? So they have definite shape and size and produce, if you want you can create uniform magnetic field, or if you want non-uniform magnetic field also you can produce, but generally we can say that because they have definite shape and size, they are going to produce uniform magnetic field. Okay, now what are the examples of magnets we have seen since childhood, right? There is one bar, it is represented by two poles called north and south pole, so this is called bar magnet. And some magnets are like this. These are called horseshoe magnet or U-shaped bar magnets. In meters we use to find the direction while we are moving in ports or like this. There is one needle which shows the direction, that is called magnetic needle. So these are the different types of magnets. Now our question is, sir, natural magnets, you said that they are available in Earth's surface, so they are naturally available. We can't say exactly how they formed all these things, but how you can make? We said that artificial magnets, right? So artificial magnets are what? Man-made magnets. Now our question is, sir, how we can make magnets, right? So how we can make magnets is, there are two types. One, in previous centuries, means previous generation, because they don't know the current carrying conductor produces magnetic field, what they used to do is, they start, for example, this is a magnet and this is the magnet I want to make. So let us assume that this is steel bar. Now I rub this bar magnet with this U-shaped or one definite shape size magnet. So by friction, this particle becomes, attains the property of magnet. So how to make one magnet? Take a magnetic substance, is not a magnet, such as steel, iron, nickel, and a magnet. If you rub these two, because of friction, this gains attractive property and acts as magnet. So that is very risky method. And now, after 18th century, what happens? Whatever the magnet you want to form, so they are made by passing current through the conductor. Is it right? If you pass current through the conductor, what happens? It produces magnetic field. So what is the function of magnet? To produce magnetic field. So by passing current through a conductor of any shape, for example solenoid, it is going to produce magnetic field, right? Yes. Toroid, all these devices produce uniform magnetic field and acts as magnets. So we can pass current through the conductor and make it as magnets. So this is about what? Magnet. What is a magnet? It is a substance which has a property of attraction and direction. At first it was found in Greece, in a village called Magnesia. That's why it is called a magnet. And later on they also observed that in China they observed one stone, wherever you throw, it is going to point towards north and south, so that we can say that it is leading toward the destination. So this is called as what? leading stone or idle stone. Now the magnets are classified into two types. One is natural magnet and artificial magnet. Natural magnets are available in Earth's core. They do not have any definite shape and size, and they are going to produce non-uniform magnetic field. For this, the desired shape can be made by using passing current through the conductors or by rubbing the magnet on a conductor. So they have different shape and size, and they produce uniform magnetic field, and these are the examples of artificial magnets. Now, let us know what are the properties of a magnet. What are the properties of magnet? We have any magnet, either it is artificial magnet or natural magnet, it has these properties. Those properties are, first one is the most important property, attractive property. Why? What is attractive property? A magnet attracts small pieces of iron, cobalt, steel, nickel. So if you place these substances, it can attract these small pieces of substances, so it has attractive property. Next one is directive property. What is directive property? Already we said that when you throw this substance anywhere all over the earth, what happens? It points towards north to south. The north pole points towards geographical north and the south pole pointed towards geographical south. For example, if I throw a stone, for example, what happens? This is a bar magnet. I throw into air, it points like this. Means, so this is what? North pole. That is pointing towards what? Geographical north, and the south pole pointing towards geographical south. This is called what? Directive property. And next one is inductive property. What is inductive property? Simple. So, for example, if you take a steel rod and take a bar magnet, what happens now? This steel rod, assume that this is steel rod and this is bar magnet. Before, this steel doesn't have attractive property. Now when a bar magnet brought, what happens? It attracts towards the steel. Means what? This steel also gains the property of attraction. This steel also gains the property of attraction. It means in this element, it has north pole and south poles. All are moving in different random motion. So the net magnetic moment is what? 0. Now when you brought north pole, what happens? All the south poles comes towards one direction, and it repels the other pole. What happens now? All the south pole comes to this end, all the north poles comes to this end. What happens now? Before that, this is only bar magnet and this is steel rod. Now after bringing this magnet toward the steel rod, what happens? It induces magnetic field in steel rod, right? So we can induce magnetism in the other substance by bringing a magnet towards this one. So this property is called what? Inductive property. Understood? Yes. Now, so what are the properties of magnets? 3. Very important one. This is, you have to listen carefully there. Properties of magnetic lines of force is different. Properties of magnet is different. Magnet, it has 3 properties. Those 3 properties are what? Attractive property, directive property and inductive property. So from all this, we can say that one important question, 1 mark, repulsion is sure test for magnetism. Yes or not? So to find whether the other substance is magnet or magnetic substance, what is the concept we have to consider? Repulsion. Why? As you know, like poles repulse, unlike poles attract. But why we are specifically explaining this? Because, for example, this is bar magnet. So this is one material. Assume that this is, I want to know whether this is also a magnet or not. This also a magnet or not. How can I do that? For example, this is magnetic substance, not a magnet. This is what? Magnetic substance, not a magnet. What it will do? It induces magnetism in this one and attracts towards the magnet. So a magnet can attract another magnet or a magnetic substance. Attract a magnet or a magnetic substance. What happens? If you turn the pole also, what happens? It attracts. For example, if I brought North Pole and South Pole, and this is North Pole and South Pole, what happens now? These two repel each other or not? These two repel each other. If it is magnetic substance, it attracts. If it is a magnet, it repels. Understood? So that's why we are saying that to find whether a substance is magnet or magnetic substance, repulsion is a sure test, because a magnet can attract another magnet or magnetic substance, but only repels the magnet. So that's why repulsion is sure test for magnetism. So this is about what? Properties of magnet, and we can say that repulsion is sure test for magnetism. Clear? So in this class what we learnt? We learnt two concepts, that is what is a magnet, how many types of magnets, and properties of magnets. Understood? Yes. Next class we will discuss some more important basics of this chapter. Thank you.